Attention, attention, attention. This is the Tao Net A of the day. I'm your net controller, Team Jet number 9, Yankee Uniform Echo Echo. If you're around and would like to check in, you can come in with your cosine. And please keep in mind our net is being recorded for training purposes. You may begin.
Team yacht number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay, we have a turn here. Anyone else would like to check in?
Team yacht number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Check in, check in. This is the official call out. It is now the net A time. If you would like to check in, please come in with your call sign.
Team Yacht number 2, Golf Echo India.
Okay. Anyone else? One more last call. Anyone else? Okay, welcome to the Quiet Monday Net. We will begin. Today, the topic, well, I guess everyone needs some education on this. Um, so, over the weekend, I have seen a TikTok video. And in this video, there's this Chinese man who is also a famous actor. And he used to be in those like uh, ancient vibe KJ. Turn out he also know martial art and know Chinese medicine. So right now he's kind of like retired and he's like teaching people how to upkeep your health and things like that. So he's kind of like you know trying to help people to have good health. And he said one of the guy that went to him say, "Oh, I'm always busy. I'm always socializing. I'm always like eating with people, talking business, and we go to bars, drink a lot, party, and all that, right?" And somehow he said, nah, "Now I'm like kind of." Getting tired all the time. Even I sleep enough, I don't feel energy, and there's like so many back pain and this pain, that pain. So this guy was like, I know what happened to you already. So yeah, what happened is you overspent your resources from the free heaven. So you're lacking the blood, you're lacking the chi, and that's why you're feeling like that. So you should not, like this guy said, you should not do any exercise, especially those workouts. And then he kind of not believe him, so he went to a Western doctor. The Western doctor's like, "Oh, you're tired? Now I just need some more exercise." And the Western doctor told him, "You should go jogging and 2 hours a day and so on." Wow, this guy followed it like like he's God. So yeah, doctor say I need to jog. Let me go jogging. He thought exercise will be good, right? Who will believe that exercise is bad for you? So he go jogging, and in 2 weeks he went into the ICU, like really emergency, almost died, fainted. And then he found this doctor guy again, and the doctor guy was like, "I told you not to do it. Why do you do it?" And he taught him some stuff to unclog the meridian and to help him to bring back some of the resources, and he feel good again. So immediately this guy is like, "Wow, I want to be your disciple." So there goes the client become a disciple, and it's kind of like really inspiring because a lot of the case, like people really don't know the problem that they have, and they believe blindly that by just sweating out, by doing exercise, workout, going to the gym, and all that stuff is going to bring you health. It's not the case. So this will be our topic today. Let's move around the mic. Team yet number two, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Yes, Ajahn. Well, I think that Western society base a lot of their um, culture on things that you can see. And when it comes to ancient traditional Chinese medicine, they understand fundamentally that there's forces around that you cannot see, and there's only very few and far people in between who have the ability to sense it or actually see it because they've been cultivating for a very long time, like yourself, Sajan. And Western culture tends to have a strong emphasis on things that you can see, things that you can feel, and that's what sciences do as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you need to completely throw science out with the baby and the bathwater, but I do think that there are things that science has no clue about, and when you really understand what science is just a way to measure, literally just a way to measure. And it's not a very sophisticated system like our ancestors from China or other parts of the world who have developed a high spiritual sense to sense things and see things. In science, people are still trying to figure out stuff, and is always recalibrating because they have to change this theory, whether it's Darwin or whatever it may be. They're constantly changing stuff because it's basically as they're measuring, they're guessing. You don't have a strong tool or a master or somebody who's giving them the information. It's kind of like DIY in a sense. So because we live in a society where everything you need to be able to see it, feel it, touch it, or else it's not real. If you haven't come from a culture like most of us, it takes time to adapt to that. I'm not too sure about Chinese culture right now because I've never been to China. Don't really have much interaction with people who are traditionally from China outside of you yourself, Sajan. Growing up, the closest thing to China I probably got to was the movies and fried rice. But yeah, back to you. Tinyak number two, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay, back to the case. So this guy, who almost died from just jogging, and the more he work out, the more he feel weak and exhausted. So this is like a concept that most people don't understand, because you only see the body right here. But if you kind of get it this way, um, like on top of you, there's this Yun San, and the Yun San is kind of like your bank account for your life. When you work out, it's like you're taking money out from the bank account. So of course, if you want things to grow here, you need to take money from there and put it here. When you put the money in, it grows. So when we are young, like we're like 12, 10, our unit son is like still pretty full. We haven't been using it much. We have been like, just saving up money. And then, hey, now we're about to spend it. So it feels great doing workout, trying to build your body, and all that stuff, right? You're nonstop drawing money from there to here, and then putting it into things. So it could be anything, but the more you do, the more you try to put the stuff in. Hey, your Yun San need time to replenish. And sometimes we don't even bother putting anything back into the Yun San. We just take, and we believe that we'll have more, but hey, it's not like an endless spending bank account, you will eventually reach a point that you're not putting in enough, and it's got exhausted. So now you're in the red, and that's what happened to a lot of people who are like overspending uh, their life doing things outward. What is outward? Well, you see, in the West, I somehow hear a lot of people like going outside, traveling, or even those people who say, I like nature. I want to hike. I want to go around and walk around and go here, go there, looking at things. This is also spending your life outward. When you keep doing that, you're actually spending that money. So it doesn't even have to be like, oh, I'm running all day long. You just like walk around, travel around, drive around, always nonstop going here and there. You're still spending your money. You're still wasting all that resources onto what you're doing. And hey, are you getting it back? How do you replenish that bank account? We'll talk about that in the next round. Senior number two, Kilo Alpha India.
Teammate number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I would like to greet everybody in the net and Sir John Keaton. Um, Yesterday I was approached by my mother telling me, when I think, I'm not sure if it was maybe the day before. I don't think it was yesterday. She said to me, your children want to go and join karate. I don't feel like letting them join karate. I don't know what is the feeling, but I was like that when I was growing up. I did I did a gym a lot. I was so obsessed with martial art so much. But look at me. I don't know when was the last time I went to the gym now. I think it's been 3 or 4 years. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not into it. It's happened gradually, slowly. At some point, I went on and off until completely off. I don't know. Maybe it's what you are saying. Maybe I feel tired or something. It went on and off and on and off. Now I don't feel like going to the gym at all. I don't know what is the problem, and I don't want to encourage my children to go and join any gym. It's my attitude towards any sort of exercise that I developed lately. It's totally different from what I did when I started early. I still have to figure out what is the reason for all that. I don't feel even now. I don't feel like doing any sort of exercise anytime soon in my mind. Actually, the passion is gone. So I'm not sure what is the cause of all those things. Because it has to start. I used to enjoy exercise back then, but all that passion has disappeared gradually for some reason. I don't know why. Whether it's the environment or my heart or has changed. I started to view the gym differently. I don't know what is the cause of all that. But the children, they want to do martial art at this stage. I still have to figure out what to do with them. I don't know what to give them, but I don't want them to do any sort of martial art at this moment until I'm clear exactly what they must do. Junior number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Well, you're smart. Should not be doing that. I was just talking to Gap in the other room about karate. Karate is uh, a copycat martial art. They copy from the Chinese, but they fucked up. So a lot of the stuff that they do is really crooked and damaging. So yeah, not a really good martial art. The thing that they do is damaging for the body, and if you're into it, like you actually do the cultivation for, like, how they punch things and try to condition their body, it will lead to lots of problem. And something like what Gap is facing right now, it's not a good idea. So yeah, when the kids want to, right, you got to tell them not everything you want is what you can have in life. uh, so yeah, very simply, just tell them, you want? Yeah, sure, you can want it. No one can stop you from wanting something, but doesn't mean that you will have it, right? As a father, you should teach the kid to control themselves. Learning the power to self-control is very important in the development of the mind. If you can't control, then later it's like, I want this a car, I need to buy a car. I want this shoes, I'd have to buy the shoes. What the hell, like, learn to control yourself. You can want so many things, you can like so many things, but it doesn't have to be what you will get. So one important lesson is to control your heart. You can have it later, when you can afford it yourself. But yeah, going outside and learn costs money too, right? And you're not good with the money already, so of course you have to cut the spending. Very important. Yeah, so I will talk more about the working, like putting things back into the source in my next round. So let's pass the mic. Team number two, Golf Echo India. Eh?
Yacht number two, Golf Echo India. Such very interesting distinctions. Um, yeah, I'm still, you know, kind of wrapping my head around how much difference there actually is between the Western understanding of medicine and exercise versus what is um, actually, I can't even say if it's, you know, common knowledge to TCM, because it sounds like TCM these days is also pretty screwed up. Um, I've had my suspicions for a long time that a lot of the Western medical system is entirely too pharmaceutical based. Everything is like, well, once you get sick, once you get injured, then we have a whole bunch of drugs that you can take that will not even fix you, just make you better, make you feel better as long as you keep taking the drugs, which, by the way, will cost half your salary every month or more. Um, there's a lot of people over here dying because they can't afford the medicine that they believe that they need. They are being told that they need, that that is their only option. It's all that's available. Um, so I've had interest for a long time in studying herbal and preventative medicine. Um, but again, Western herbalism has felt really incomplete. Like these are like it's just a rougher, more accessible, I guess, but less effective version of the same kind of pharmaceutical system. Once things are broken, once you're feeling sick, then, well, you could take this and this and this and this and this and this 5 times a day, and hopefully that will help. Doesn't seem very effective to me. Um, so then my attention kind of turned to maybe learning TCM, but that's been really prohibitive because I don't speak Chinese. I don't really trust apps to teach me to speak either Mandarin or Cantonese. Um, and yeah, all of this is really fascinating to me. So I will be really intrigued to hear the rest of what you have to say about restoring the chi that we expend. Back to you. Vignette number two, Gulf Echo, India.
Totally understand that. The Western side is, they started off like a business. That's the problem. Even the Chinese right now, they're kind of like mocking the new Chinese medicine store. They say like 20 years ago, and then you look at the store. They say they have a big banner. They say we wish that no one will be sick, so that all our shelf will be full of dust. Right. So that is the spirit of being a doctor, right? So they want everyone to have good health, so no one come and buy my things. Okay, now after 20 years, right now, you look at the same store, and they're posting ads up like buy this many, get how many credit, and then like buy this and get that free. Like it's all about selling more and more. The whole concept is changed. But it's really hard because if you want to like be the nice doctor, you cannot make money, then it's very hard to survive. But if you are like the scammy doctor, you make a lot of money, and then but the thing is like so evil. So being a doctor these days is really hard. One of the ex-disciple was a Chinese doctor, and he also say the same thing. Like all the scam doctors are so rich, but he is like not rich. You gotta like scam people, like, oh, you have this problem, okay, I can like, prescribe you two herb and it will fix the problem. And then like they don't believe it. You have to add things to the formula, so it's like 20 something herb, and then they're like, oh wow, that's legit. That's the problem. If you give them like, one herb, two herb, what is this? This is a scam, huh? So yeah, the same problem everywhere. Anyway, so talking about the working in versus working out, a difference is when you work out, you get exhausted, you get tired, you sweat, you feel like a lot of things coming out, right? So you're like spending off the energy, spending off the chi, right? Not the energy, the chi. So when you spend the chi, you feel tired. When you are feeling like I just want to lay down, I'm flat, like my chi is all gone, then you feel flat. Um, like some people, they have sex, and when they're done, they're like, oh, I just lay down, cannot move, right? What does it tells you? You have just spent all your chi that you can get for that time. Well, it will come again. I mean, if you go sleep or rest a while, right, give it time, the yun sun will flow chi down again. But what you can get right now at this moment, it's all gone. You see how damaging it is for some people who just like, fuck until they die. Okay, anyone want to check in? Check in.
Senior number two, Golf Alpha Papa.
King at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Team number 2, Delta November Golf.
Okay, senior number 2, Golf Alpha Papa. Go ahead.
Senior number two, Golf Alpha Papa. Well, first of all, Sejong Jung. Yeah, and hello everyone on the night. And Sejong, I just want to express great happiness at the wisdom you've been sharing with me about my problems, and then also on the net. This has been a topic that has the whole working out, working in thing. It's been a topic that has kind of, I guess, dominated my interest ever since I was younger, trying to figure out how to get stronger, but without killing myself, because I've seen it happen where people burn themselves out and just, and some people get stronger with it, but then they're useless in other areas of life. Um, I'd I remember hearing about, support like the alleged masters of like practitioners of qigong and martial arts, like basically, bringing about like permanent injury or killing themselves because they push too hard with things that, they you know you would hope that a master would know better. Um, so yeah, I've always kind of like struggled with that understanding because, again, coming from this Western mindset and dealing with a lot of mixed information out here. It's like you see people that supposedly have results, but they're even the people that have results, like they got problems in other areas of life. I remember my one of my old couple of my old instructors were really good at martial arts, but they really sucked at life. They just like making bad decisions, and just makes me wonder like how much they had messed up their negative soul energy, that they weren't even thinking right anymore, and like how they ruined their lives. Um, you got people like me who didn't know that didn't know enough to expect life past a certain age, and so thought that certain risks were worth it, just to get an edge in life. But here I am, still alive, and dealing with consequences. So yeah, I will continue to submit myself to your guidance, moving through this, because my desire is still to get stronger, but I know first and foremost I got to get better. I gotta rest. I gotta recover and make myself whole again before I can think about getting stronger. Sinyat number 2, Golf Alpha Papa.
Oh yes, those so-called master whose life is so ruined. Um, well, not just that the negative soul is messed up, but because you have spent all your essence into doing things that doesn't really matter, and then eventually you have no more resources for things in life. You can also get to the same stage when you use your own Yun San to do magic and then DIY magic and burn all the Yun San resources for people like what I did, and you will really get fucked up too. So I have tried that myself, and it is very damaging. Okay, let me get back to the working in. Uh, So working out, when you like when you're here, right? You do exercise, you move around. Whenever you move around, stuff is being pushed out from the inside. What is inside? Inside is like the D6 or even from the D1, right? So it could be from the local or from the above, from the Yunsan and goes alter. So the 168, one go to six, go to eight, and then you're like spending the money, right? That's called working out. When you work out, you feel hot, you feel like sweating and exhausted and tired because you spent all the energy, right? All the soul is out of soul chi, and the soul chi is gone. Then you're tired. Now, when you stay still, your 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 body is not moving. Then you start to regroup. It's very funny. Like when you just sit and not move, like really don't move and just sit there and you close your eyes and suddenly it regroups. Yeah, it will like it will come back. Your soul is coming back when you're not moving. So naturally, we always do something like that every day, which is sleeping, right? You lay on the bed, don't move, and then you kind of regroup everything back into yourself. So think about it this way: a lot of people are into traveling, moving around, going here and there, right? This is also working out. You're spending your chi, your essence everywhere. And it's also exhausting for yourself. Even if you think you're going on a vacation, you're going hiking, right? It's still spending the money compared to you stay home, move less, or even like spend time just sitting there, or spend time just laying in bed. Just don't move yourself. You don't sleep, but you're not moving yourself. Now you're regrouping. You're finally putting things back in. Oh, Let's move on to the next. And number four, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Hotel Alpha Alpha. Well, Shadron's very aware of what my health issues is, and I had a question about how it is that, especially when we come to different changes in our life, and maybe it's a depletion of the yin sun that we don't get fully recovered even after we sleep, even after we rest, even after we sit still. And maybe it's because that we're female that we may not be able to experience the entire recovery of our resources when we do have these output or even changes in our demeanor, like we get very angry or we get really hot or we get really cold or we experience these different changes that everyone else says that are in our head or even dismiss it. And so I'm here to ask, after having been through some of these things and after having experienced some of the recovery that Sichuan has prescribed for me and my ghost altar and my legs and my back and different pain issues that might be eliminated through because of attacks from E-crap, how much of this is how much of this is biological, how much of this is spiritual, and how much of it can be preventable. And so I'm very interested in hearing also how to regroup, unless this is an individual case by case basis. Tinyat number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Aha, must be still at that location. It sounds like you have to like talk very quietly. Anyway, how much is it is biological and how much is it is spiritual? Everything is spiritual. Everything. Biological or physical is only a symptom. You see, we always say 168, right? In the pre-heaven, D1, that is 50%, like half of your entire life. So half of the cause of things are based on the yun san or the heart. Half of it. And then 25% is based on the soul, the post heaven negative, which is the D6. And then you have 25%, which is the manifestation in D8. So D8, what you can see is already the result of what happened in 1 and 6. Okay, so it's like, yeah, maybe I dropped the knife and cut myself, right? Why did you drop your knife? Right? Like, why? Out of so many things, why don't you drop a chopstick? Well, why don't you like drop the knife somewhere else? Why does it have to be here and cut yourself? Right? It could be your you got attacked by ye crap, so the bad soul energy or the bad soul chi, sorry, affected you, or maybe you got attacked by magic, or maybe your yun sun is bad and acting like a ye god, guiding you to have bad vision, or maybe your heart is like a bad god right now, and it just teach you to do the wrong thing. So a lot of these factors of why something physical happened is what we look at all the time. So it's never a pure physical issue, right? Even you say like, I got a car accident. It has to be something like maybe your soul, your mind is not clear, right? Or you got distracted, or you zoned out, or your heart is low energy, and then woo, I just like zoned out a bit and then crash, right? A lot of things at the back is the cause of the problem. So it's never a physical and pure physical problem. Anything physical that you can see or detect is always because of something in D1 and D6. So what Gay was saying, the preventive medicine, it's like, yeah, you deal with the D1 and the D6, then it doesn't come to D8. Then you prevented it. Because what you guys think is like a problem or sickness is often the thing you see in D8. Like, oh, I started coughing. You can see it, right? Then you think you're sick. But what if I say before that you already have the problem inside? You just don't know that it's related. So, yeah, there we go. Next one is Tina number 2, Delta November Golf.
Yeah, team yet number two, Delta November Golf. Yeah, Xiajian Gijang, and greeting to everyone on the net. Uh, Back to the martial art. Uh, yeah, kind of join of the martial art, like jiu-jitsu. I think like first of all, it's like want to do the self-discipline and that kind of things like trying to uh, I think this is the right way to do, but it's actually after a while it's ending up like hurting myself and then like so many injury, and then I look around and also all my friend is also like they're the same, like neck injury, shoulder injury, knee, because they do like a leg lock and all that kind of thing, like you know there's so many injury, even though you are do a lot of competition and that kind of things, just end up like getting more injured, instead of like uh I think we are trying to do, just getting happen, all the time. And also I think it's more about marketing and it's making money, like from the white belt to blue belt. It's they we paying like 150, and after every month, right? And then after like want to go to purple belt, like I did like 3 4 years, and man, they're asking like $200 a month, like that. So it's just like fuck that, I just quit. And then like because at that time when I quitting is I got so many injured, even my knee and all that things, I end up like went to the chiropractic and all that acupuncture trying to fix myself. Like, this is not the way I want it, So it's just like you just instead of like you want to trying to you know stronger, but it's actually you are it's weaker. So yeah, back to you, net control. Team yet number two, Delta November Golf.
That is so true. You were trying to get stronger, but at the back, you keep weakening yourself. That is true. Um, in the past, the master that teach me martial art is like that too. Every week, need to go cupping, chiropractor. Every week, I'm like, I don't want to be like that when I'm older. Every week is like that, and I remember when I want to like spar with him, right? You got to give him like 30 seconds. Why? He needs to like kind of spin his waist, rotate his shoulder. Kinda like everything is stuck, He needs to like activate the engine. And I'm like, wow, if someone beat you up on the street, how can you react like this? It's so funny. I was just telling Gap a while ago that Bruce Lee is a bad martial artist if you look at it. Like he overexhausts himself, overspent the resources, end up like you only care about the physical side, but nothing going in, and eventually, you know, pretty bad outcome. Not a good role model at all. Talking about the working in or like regrouping, right? Um, when you are not sleeping, like you're still conscious, and you sit. First of all, you want to sit down. Why do we sit and not stand? Because, well, look, if we look at the body, okay, the five element tells you the body and the energy and everything, the soul, how it works. Now, when you're like vertical, okay, you're like an hourglass. So the sand on inside the hourglass will move. So when you're like standing up, upright, up straight, the thing move. Okay. Now you can also put things in as well because the top is the entrance. Now, if you are laying down like sleeping, you lay down, you're like horizontal. The hourglass is not moving. It's totally still, not moving. Okay. So when you lay on the bed, you're actually regrouping. So if you really want to regroup yourself, you can try to lay on the bed and don't move. But don't sleep. Why? Because your heart, okay, is non-stop regrouping inward to like to collect things. So when you're like lay down, okay, and not sleep, stuff from outside, your soul, your chi is coming back into the heart, into the heart, into the heart. Now, when your heart is full or it is ready, then you go to the sleep mode, like you're unconscious. That is the time when the heart dumps everything to the Yun San. And then you will come back with the new stuff in the heart when you wake up. Okay? So remember, if you want that regrouping to work, don't fall asleep. Be still, but don't fall asleep. Just lay there and it will regroup things into the heart. Okay, I'll come back later. Anyone want to check in? Okay, moving back to the top. Tina number two, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenet number two, Charlie Hotel Golf. Yes, Adrian, you mentioned that to regroup and bring your energy back in, you just have to lay and stay still. What would you recommend, like for overactive mind, to just lay there and stay still? For me, like if I have to do something like that, uh, it might be a little difficult for me because I tend to think a lot and new thoughts will come into my head and think about what I'm gonna eat, what I have to do, what projects I need to get done, how much more I need to be focusing more on my Taoist practices, making time for just day to day life, just stuff like that. And just staying still is not a problem, but it's how do you get the mind to stay still? The body will be still, but the mind itself is something I want to know. I do remember you mentioned about the breathing techniques. Would that help with quieting the mind? Back to you. This is TY2 Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay. Yeah, I run out of time, so that's why I stopped. Anyway, let me continue with more details. When you're laying down, we have a word called noi gong. Noi gong is like internal practice, right? What is internal? Internal is like the inside, your mind, right? How you deal with the inside. So, like Chang said, oh, I keep thinking about things, right? Okay, first of all, when we are laying down, okay, we want the body, the body to stay still. That's the outside. The inside, we want things to go back into the heart. Okay, what does that mean? Well, the focus point is the heart. So you know where the heart is. It's in between your nipples, right? At the center point of the heart. So you should look at that spot. Okay. And then as your mind wanders around, like thoughts comes in or you keep like wanting to do this, that. Now, here's the thing. You have to keep thinking about that same spot using your breathings to help yourself focus in. Like we do the 5-1-5 breathings, right? 5 second in, 5 second out, 1 second hold in the center. So you're doing that, focusing inside, looking at the same spot into the heart. So when you're having anything that pops into the mind, like thought and whatever, your job is to battle them off. So let's say you suddenly thought of something, or maybe like a project you haven't done, email you have not sent, right? Your job is to fight that stuff. Is to like is to deal with it inside. So you have to tell yourself, this is not important. I don't need this now. Now I can deal with that later. Later. right? You're like talking inward to yourself. Oh, thinking about lunch. Oh, that is not important. Go back to the present and tell yourself, I have, like, for example, I set an alarm for 10 minutes. So you tell yourself, I have 10 minutes to regroup myself. I don't need this now. I can do it later. It's like, oh, there's something, your kid's calling you, your cat bugging you, right? You tell yourself, I still have X amount of time until my timer is up. When the timer is up, I'll deal with it. Instead of like trying to ignore, you have to answer. Answer the you inside, and that will help you deal with the inside problems. Once you start dealing with everything, your mind is settled and your heart will start to regroup. Tina number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Um, the these discussions about the body position, the posture, or like lying down and being upright and everything. Um, I don't know. I've been dealing with, the sensation of chi in the body, and I'm very familiar with this concept. Obviously, uh, I don't know if the chi flow in the body is something that is normal to other people who have never done any. But it's to me, this experience has been for a long time. Yeah, I do experience that flow. Like even the very first time you did mention it, I was pretty much aware of all that. But it's been there with me for a very long time at this moment. But what I would like to mention, which is important, in the beginning, it was very uncomfortable because I don't know, it's not normal. It becomes normal. That's one of the things I completely shut down and stop martial art completely because um the experience was very uncomfortable at first, but now it's becoming a little bit normal, but it's not actually normal because I feel the sensation. I can feel because there's a flow. The flow doesn't stop. So I don't know if you can comment on that because obviously the chief flow is not something that anybody has ever taught me about in the past. But now that you are mentioning it, I'm very familiar with what you are saying because to me it's very real. I can feel the chi flow. I don't know if you can just give a comment on what I'm telling you. If you understand, back to you, TY2KA Kilo Alpha India.
Okay. Um, well, the more you listen to these chi related lectures, the more you understand the whole thing. But you need more ingredients. So let me give you more ingredient first, and then you'll be able to put the puzzle together. Okay, so we talk about lying down, right? Not moving, and that will help things to regroup back to the heart. Okay, so if you are having a hard time focusing, um, or every once and then you kind of zone out, like dozing off, right? That is the time you need to do this. So, like, Kai, if you're like driving a lot and then you find yourself almost pass out when you're driving, find a place to lay on the floor and just let yourself be like that. And then spread out your arms and close your eyes. Don't sleep. Just lay down like that. All right. Focus back into the heart. That will help. Now, if we are sitting, like sitting on a chair, that kind of sitting, okay, that that puts your energy body upward, and because your legs are touching the floor, like the foot is touching the floor, you are dragging down things from the top into you. So the first one, when we lay down, we call that related to gold element because the chi don't move. This one is the water element. The chi flows down into you. Okay, the chi flows down. So when the chi flows down, it also slows you down. So if you want the chi from the yun san to come down to you, for example, you need to think of ideas. It is best to sit upright because that's when the chi flows downward into you. So when you sit, the yun san flows down things into your energy body. And then when you stand up, like not sitting, you stand up, both feet on the floor. Okay. Now, when you sit, it's water. When you stand up, it's wood because now your body is supporting itself from the below and the chi will go back upward. So when you stand up, the chi actually pick up and then pump into the heart. So if you sit a lot, you might feel very tanky, like very tired or sleepy. You stand up, the chi will reverse and come back up to the heart and make you revive. So that's why, when kids are listening to lecture, they get like bored and then they get like very sleepy. You tell them, everyone just stand up. When you stand up, your attention is back because it pumped the chi into the heart. And then when you walk around, the chi burns outward. It's fire. The chi goes out of your body when you move around. And then when you sit down with your leg crossed, and most importantly, the bottom of the feet is not touching the ground. So it's kind of like when you cross leg, right? You don't have to go into a full lotus kind of thing, but just don't let the bottom of the foot touch the ground directly. That is the earth element. And what happened is your energy body is going to like it's going uh into this like self loop and it's beaming up to the yun sun, going back up to the yun sun. So when you're like sitting cross legged like that, it helps you to regroup the stuff back up to the yun sun. So anyway, let's go back to the next one. Tinja number two, Golf Echo India.
Yacht number two, Gulf Echo India. Really loving this discussion today. Um, I'm really curious um, why it. So you talked about working out, and we've talked about working in the like laying down, being completely still to regroup. Um, but I'm curious why it might sometimes, um, why movement may sometimes feel refreshing, like revitalizing, right? Like I am one of those people who really likes, being out in nature, being out in the trees. Being in city environments feels really exhausting for me. All of the man-made noises and smells and stuff. I don't like it. It feels really hard on my system. Um, I really love being out, walking through, um, through nature trails and stuff. Um, less the man-made parks, but definitely more like, cultivated wilderness. Um, and to me, that has always felt really refreshing, even if I feel like, you know, uh, groggy and depleted or weak when I get out there. Just walking for a while and feeling like I'm breathing in cleaner air seems to really help. Now, according to what you're teaching us now, there's still energy being expended. So is the sense of like refreshment and revitalization all about the de-yeeping that's happening? Back to you, Tinyat number two, Golf Echo India.
Okay, uh, I can explain it like this. You are poor. Your wallet is depleted. So you don't have money. Okay. You go around people who are rich and then you feel better because it's like, I need to pay for anything, they will pay for it. I go to their dinner, I eat their food, right? So I feel good. But if I go around like poor people, then I'm like, ah, they don't have anything to eat, and I feel like shit because I don't have money to buy my food. What you're doing is just like that. You go out there in the nature, right? Okay, look, you're around wood, flowers, trees, and everything with life. They have soul energy. So you go into, I mean, the soul chi, okay? So you go into their area, you're blending yourself into their chi. So it's kind of like, I don't have money, but you have money, it's fine, right? So you feel like better. But it doesn't fix your problem. You're still spending your chi as you walk. So yeah, it doesn't really fix the problem. It just makes you feel a little bit better. But when you go home again, oh shit, like problem's still here. Yeah, because it wasn't really a fix. It was more like you just borrowed their chi for a while so you don't feel as dead. But the problem is you have never replenished into yourself. So yeah, it's not really fixing anything. Now, while you're in a city, like you're around concrete, cars, metal, and all that cars and stuff, those things are not alive, right? They are like dead objects. So all the dead objects, they don't have the soul chi for you. There's no soul, they don't grow. Like a rock doesn't grow, right? So these things, if they don't output, what do? They absorb. Yeah, so things that doesn't grow, okay, like like um like gemstones also, or jade, uh or anything that doesn't grow and have life, they absorb. So that is why I don't suggest people wear jade if they are like already lacking the chi. The more you wear on yourself, those things sucks away your soul chi, and it makes you even weaker. Anyway, so if you're around those city, urban area, yeah, there's not enough soul chi for you to leech onto. So instead, they are polluted, they are impure, and they are not really going to make you feel good. And they also suck your soul chi more than giving you help. So yeah, like even you say going out there in the wildness, it's like, oh, it's not solving the problem, but at least they make you feel better. But here it's like it doesn't help anymore. So it's not doing better. But going outside is not fixing the problem. Uh, if you have a empty wallet, right, going around the rich people is not going to give you more money. So what you need is really to have a place to regroup, clean up the base, and refill that wallet or bank account. Okay, let's see if Gab is here. Tina number two, Golf Alpha Papa.
Senior number two, Golf Alpha Papa. Yeah, I'm still here. My first client, no call, no show. So I'm gonna hit him later. But for now, I'm still happy because I get to participate in the net. Um, yeah, I'm also loving the conversation that's happening. Um, and so I, based off what you were talking about, Sean, lying down is the gold element for regrouping. Sitting down with the feet on the ground is the water element. Standing up is wood element. Sitting down with your feet not touching the ground, like cross-legged or however, as long as they're not touching the ground, is the earth element. I'm wondering what the fire element is. If that's what cotting's about, or if that's yeah. I'm curious to know what the fire element is in that regard. And yeah, and I also yeah. I mean, it's one of the things that me and Gay originally bonded over was being out in you know, uh, having empty wallets and then being in nature and feeling the replenishment. I guess one of the reasons why we'd been thinking about being like finding a home close to nature because it's very evident, like like just like the way my body feels in general, like whenever I'm in nature, it's like it is like a complete like different thing. I feel well, like a young person again. And Yeah, it's just been an interesting phenomenon. And when we come back to the city, it's like I can hold on to it for a while until I deal with regular life for long enough, and then that depletion happens. Um, so so yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to learning how to keep our wallets nice and healthy, so that there's 10 at number 2 golf alpha papa.
Yeah, like I said, you go to the nature, right? You're borrowing their soul energy, the soul chi for a while, and then when you come back, it's like, oh shit, back to normal. So it really doesn't fix you at all. And if you have to like rely on that for the rest of your life to feel good, you really got some problem. It's kind of like instead of taking drugs, you're taking the nature as a drug. That is very bad. I mean, it really limits yourself to what you can do, where you can stay, and you're still a sick person. At the end of the day, when you die, you're still like really sick because all that problem is still there. If living in nature equals good health, then everyone back in the ancient time would be like, wow, super good health, but it's not the case. So, what is the thing that actually replenishes our blood? Okay, because you want to replenish the blood back into the heart, and it will go back to the yun sun and create the essence, which is the money. So, if you want more money, which is the essence, you need more blood. Blood is created when God comes back. So you have to spend and then let the God come back. You can't just like, oh, the guy come back. No, it needs to be spent and then it will come back. When the God dies, it dissolves into blood. Okay. So if you read this on like in mythology books, it sounds like wow, the God just like turned into a puddle of water. But no, it's the case is it is the truth. When you spend your God, meaning like you spend the power in your heart, right, to actually do something, then it's done. You see the result, it comes back to you. That feeling that comes back, which makes your heart very happy, feel successful, feel like I have achieved something, that kind of feeling tells you, okay, the God has came back. When the God came back, you feel happy and you have blood. So you see, you try to regroup, but what the hell are you actually regrouping? If you didn't create all that good God out there with the memory coming back, all that, you're not regrouping shit. Like just laying down there doesn't really do anything because you're spending your time just laying down. But if you lay down and then your God come back and you keep having like memories, flashback of good memories, then that is what actually create the blood. So your God is coming back. You're having blood. Blood comes back to the heart. And then when you go to sleep, it goes back and create the essence that you have money. So creating good memories, making your day fulfilled, and then recalling back to the fulfillment and appreciating that moment of life that you actually went through, did something and achieved something, right? That is what gives you the blood. Now in reverse, if you're like, oh, you close your eyes, all you know is bash yourself. Ah, today I'm so useless. I'm late for this again. I forgot this again. Oh, I'm so useless. I still cannot draw my chickling and all that. And then you bash yourself. Now it comes back as blood toxin. So if you don't want the blood toxin, avoid doing these kind of things. Scene number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Scene number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. That is good. To remember to bash oneself before going to sleep. One question I had was relative to the replenishing foods. I know that ginseng is one of them. Are there any more that can help supplement our diet? Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
No, ha. Any food cannot replace this. Okay? Food only help you move. It's a direction, like the wind. So you can eat like for example, like people eat red ginseng, okay? It pushed the stuff from here, the heart, back to free heaven. That's what it does. It's like a wind. But if what you have here is bad memory, it pushes it back, it kills you, right? So what you actually create, like that blood, is it toxic or is it good? That's the thing. And when you have good blood, it will go back. Even you just lay down, you don't need to eat anything. It will still go back, right? So the thing is like what you're actually creating. So if your whole life is about like, oh, I got bullied, I got raped, I have a bad marriage, and everything you have in life is horrible, when you lay down, all the bad memories come in, right? That's like all the evil God, all the bad God coming back, and then it become toxin. And then you go swallow some red ginseng, boom, it goes back into the yunsan. And tomorrow you're mega fucked, right? Eating anything doesn't help. It cannot replace the actual blood creation, which is by what you do in this life here, creating that memory. So yeah, you might have like good memory, bad memory, but when you're like creating more good memories or putting your attention into the more pleasant one, then you're not going to like get as much toxin into yourself. So yeah, on to the last one. Tinya number 2, Delta November Golf.
Thing number 2, Delta November Golf. Yeah, Jajan. So basically, we just like uh, cleanse ourselves first, like regrouping and then be centered. Doing all that thing first, and then after that we just can do all the still do the activity outside, like exercise and that kind of things. And yeah, I just kind of like confused on that one. So yeah, back to you. Thing yet number 2, Delta November Golf.
If you want to work in, right? Like you want to put things back in, don't move. Right? Don't move. Don't move yourself, then things coming back in. Okay? Even if you want to like um move things in but not so in, like not all the way to the heart, but I want to put things back into the soul, into D6 to feel energized. You can try just standing there, okay? Like just stand and then low down your stance a little bit and don't move. When you do that, when you lower down your stance, like put pressure on the bottom, right? Now all the chi is like stuck at where your pressure is. And then whatever is on top of the pressure is where it will hold the chi. So that's why, when we do horse stands, right? When you do horse stands, what happened is like a lot of people have this issue when they do horse stands, they kneel down, but the weight is on like the knee. If you try to do horse stands again, like now you can kind of observe yourself, right? A lot of people have the problem is like they put the weight on the knee. So all the chi is starting to build up, but it's like it's building up on your thigh area. It's like out of the energy body system area. So that's wrong. And because you do that all the time, the chi is stuck at the knee and not going out, you have knee pain. But if you do it right, right, the horse stand, you go down and then you kind of lean back a little bit with your torso, and then you feel the knee is like no pressure, but your thigh, the upper thigh, tense up. Okay, so now because that part is tense, the chi is stuck above the waistline. Now that's correct. That's where you want the chi to stay. So when the chi is staying there, it builds up in the Teikei system. And then you don't move, it keep building up, it keep building up. And then when you're like, okay, I'm done, I get up, you feel very energized because like you're charging all the chi into your bottom, so that's what gives you the inner power. So when we're like regrouping the chi into the D6 part, right, into your soul, to get physical power, that's what you can do. But if we want to group the chi back into the heart, then we need to lay down. Okay, there are like different things to do, in specific, but yeah, that's basically how the concept goes. So if you are like gap, gay, or a lot of people here, you guys all have this issue with like not enough blood, right? You want to like regroup things back to the heart. The first thing you should do is learn to have some time to lay down. And I'm not talking about like lay down 3 minutes. I'm talking about lay down for quite a bit of time. And while you're there, you're not going to like, oh, let me lay down and watch KJ, lay down, talk to my friend. No, no, you're not doing that. You're laying down, focusing back into your heart, not moving, being quiet, being still. And that is how you can regroup the thing back into the heart. And also, if you want the blood to be created better, right, you can also lay down and kind of focus on good things in your life. Recall the good memories so that your God can come back and replenish the blood instead of replenishing the toxin, right? So if you like lay down and keep thinking about like trauma, bad parents, how you got bullied, how you got raped, and all that crap, then you're like non-stop bringing back the toxin. And then the more you do that, to lay down, the more you're going to be killed. So you don't want that to happen, right? So when you lay down, make sure if you have to think of things, think of good memories, and you'll create the blood. There you go. Yeah, and don't forget, I said there's nothing to eat that can replace your actual work to create this blood yourself. So don't be so brainwashed and think that like there's some kind of herb, there's some kind of supplement, right? Like I can just eat it and feel fine. No, there's nothing that you can eat that replaces your own memory. And you're here to create the memory, which becomes the blood in your life. If you don't go create that memory, or you don't try to bring that memory in, right? Your whatever you eat is not really doing much. It's not going to replace that job. So you need to do your job to actually get your life back on track. There's no easy way out. Okay, there we go. It is now already 2:12, so we'll end the net here. Giving all 73. We'll see you on the net B or back online. This is TJ number 9, Yankee Uniform Echo is clear.
Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf Club.